said, Owen Benjamin tried to poison my lasagna. That's how you're going to try and diss someone in a wheelchair? By saying that the wind blew them over? That's your slight jab at me, buddy? Nice try. Must be nice to try and make, jokes like that. Found out about Owen Benjamin in The Unbearables. I can't remember exactly who told me about them. It might have been one of them who had reached out to me, actually. Long story short, in like March of 2018, I was looking to, of course, continue building the show, and I was looking for a group of networkers, kind of like-minded creative conservatives, and I was told about The Unbearables. I found out about Owen through the JRE podcast. To be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of him comedically. Like, I thought he was okay, but he wasn't, great. But I kind of liked what he was doing with the whole, anti-trans kids thing. That really spoke out to me. And in the beginning, The Unbearables seemed to be a great network. People who were doing creative stuff like art and design and podcasting and video production, parody, songs, musicianship, in the case of Chuck Boris, and just late night streams, which was how I met the original DZ guys. Of course, John Neary was my first interview for the brief period of time I was with the Bears. But here's the thing, Owen's not even a conservative. He's a fucking leftist, posing. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. How dare you! Owen is doing the shit that mass shooters do before they go out and do a school shooting. Here's my manifesto. We need to get rid of the weak people, and I'm not saying he's going to be the one to do this.
An Australian man murdered his wife with a pair of scissors, stabbed her in the chest.
This is a warning to the general public about Owen Benjamin. We've warned you. How dare you!
Must be nice.
According to him, the goat urinated on him first, in front of Amy.
all this gay talk is pissing off my German Shepherd.
Alrighty, folks, good evening and welcome to the Whitfield Report, late night edition, broadcasting here live from South Florida and across the country. I want to thank you guys for joining me in the past, present, future. A happy Memorial Day weekend to you all. You guys, by now, you should know the contact info, but just, in case you guys don't, for those of you listening on audio, at @70_NDC for Twitter and Instagram, at Sam Whitfield for Gab, Parler, and Minds. Please donate to streamlabs.com/The Whitfield Report and patreon.com/The Whitfield Report. Sub on Apple Podcasts. And, everything else should be in the description. Links below. Hello, Lair Rapshaw. First comment, yes you did. And please share this stream because sometimes I'll be like 5 minutes into the show, or we'll be 5 minutes into the show, and people will still be getting notifications on YouTube that the show is just now live, even though it's been live for a few minutes. So I've shared it out on Twitter and other places, but if you are so inclined, please share with a friend. And I have with me Apex Gamma, as always, and a Pope of Karens, or at least that's what the username on Discord is. I don't know if we want to call Pope something else for the purpose of the show, but welcome, Pope. I mean, I'm not totally wasted, but I'm a little buzzed. I'm a little more melon. You know, I'm a little more mellow than usual. Let me just say that. So, yeah. When do the gamer wars start? I mean, this is the internet, so I mean, any time basically. I have no control over the audience. They can yeah. I am I am a professional of the utmost professionalism. Clip that, Bruce City. So, um, she will, she will, she'll clip some stuff. Which, by the way, I do want to give a shout out. She did a bang up job on that clipping the stream where we're talking about Disney and the whole critical race theory. Um, and she did a really good job on that. So shout out to her on that. And I'm also her new meme template, I guess. So she well well yeah 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 I was gonna I mean but I mean, somewhat, but until you, all I would say, Pope, is until you've seen what she does with the, until you see what she does, it's like the way hip hop artists uh, take yeah. Oh yeah, I'm very familiar with T clips, and someone is
think, thanks to the royal gunt himself, Ethan Ralph, flagging that shit down. So she's still on Odyssey and all the other places, but yeah, the flaggatry ensues, man. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Odyssey is where it's at now, and we're doing the Thursday pop culture show, or I am at least exclusively from Odyssey now because
Sammy, apparently the audience can't hear us.
and I just fixed that Discord was being faggy again. So
Oh no.
I mean
good evening, everybody.
I mean ever
Thanks for
I mean
for
Good
joining
evening.
I mean ever
we
since
haven't been talking at all.
ever since
Yeah.
they banned me, I have no qualms about calling them, my favorite word. So
Just not live on air because you're a professional of
Professionalism.
ism. Yeah.
well, I mean, so is banning people for no reason and then saying that you ban them for harassment, but not giving like an actual example or reason. Yeah, that's super professional as well, Discord. So
Yeah, well, that's not a that's come on now, dude. That's par for the course, you know. Guilt by
Yeah,
association and all that.
big
yeah,
tech.
no, I do. Um, but let's see. So
We were riffing there for a minute. Me
yeah,
and Pope,
we
we had a
were
good show. We had a good show winding up there.
Yeah.
riffing,
Way to go, Boomer.
and we can. I mean, we can transition. You know, such as what about the fact that like all these podcasts. Here's partially why we don't have any topics. Every podcast that I've been listening to, we're on the cutting edge, and everyone is now just starting to realize, holy shit, China might actually be responsible for this whole coronavirus thing. But we've been saying it for, the past year, and so I guess
To be fair,
told you so.
we're not the we're not. It's not exclusive to us or even
Not
like. There's a bunch of people, including the former fucking president of the United States, who got
well,
panned.
yeah,
And I mean, it was one of their main platforms for discrediting him, racism, and all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so
But
yeah,
even
I mean, go ahead.
even Brett Weinstein was saying that.
Yeah, exactly. Brett Weinstein's a fucking as soft as they get. I mean, I don't hate the guy, but
Yeah, he's just
Weinstein,
yeah.
he's just a nerd.
They should explain everything wrong with that dude.
His curly hair, his blood, his oh man, yeah, but I mean, I guess it's honestly though, Sam. Like we can complain about people talking about what we and other people have been screaming about for the last year.
Oh, and
But
I'm not complaining. I'm overjoyed. I'm just saying there's no reason for us and for other people kind of in our circle. It's it's overkill, I guess. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't like to think in those terms, so much as like, well, we called it. I mean, I didn't know none of us knew what the fuck was going on, but evidence was pretty clear in a lot of ways. And, back, especially when the COVID shit popped off before that, and, certainly months after that, I was a hardcore China news nut.
you
And I was
were.
paying attention to a lot of shit. So, I mean, it seems clear enough to me. And again, anybody that can pay attention and follow some threads.
Yeah,
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Apex actually convinced me to get a subscription to the Epoch Times, which I have, and
Yep.
it's a good paper. Not a sponsor of the show, not yet at least, but um, they're the only ones. They're the only ones. That are really telling the truth on China. So.
you know how many of their offices have been firebombed in
Uh,
Hong Kong
oh,
and shit?
oh yeah, dude. Well, that's what's hilarious is, I mean, it's not hilarious, but like good on them is like they've kind of actually used that to their advantage though, in like a way, to where like they're now using that as like bragging rights, I guess. So, um, you know, so I mean, I guess, well, that's not cool per se. I guess wise marketing on their part.
Well,
Yeah.
what's interesting to shift back a little bit from the Epoch Times to the whole quote unquote revelation amongst the normies and the legacy media. Excuse me. About this, lab origin of the fucking Wu flu. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Um, But while all this is happening, news is breaking in major newspapers, news organizations. Um, I can't cite one off the top of my head, but I know there's some pretty big ones. Damn it. Um, the government has up and declared UFOs real multiple times, and they keep releasing footage and like testimony from fucking
Oh yeah,
pilots and stuff. I mean, Look over here, guys. Look over here. Aliens are real. That's what it feels like. Only nobody gives a shit. Nobody's paying any fucking attention to
Well,
it.
it's kind
Yeah.
of it's kind of like the people that are into that stuff are already like, yeah, we already know, and the
Yeah,
people
no
that,
shit. Right, show us a body or something.
and the people that aren't are like, I don't fucking care anyway. But
Yeah.
they're trying so hard to push us, into that whole thing now, and I've heard a lot of people say that it's to distract us from what the government is doing, is
Obviously.
It makes more sense.
which is honestly kind of my default position
Obviously
these
that's what they're
days.
doing.
So yeah, I mean,
But
I
I mean,
was,
go ahead.
I mean, a few, I mean, a few weeks ago on my show, on this show we talked about how fucking McDonald's is now pushing vaccines like literally on their promotional packages.
Oh yeah.
And I texted that to a friend, and he apparently just like read it last night, and he actually like texted me. He's like, bro, is this for real? I'm like, yeah, it's unless Business Insider is the unless Business Insider and the Onion have merged now, it's real. So, um, yeah, just
Well, not only that, but I sent I posted a link in your show prep channel. It's a few days old, but it's a Florida man story, and one I found particularly interesting. I've seen people taking pictures very, specifically on Twitter, since it's the only real social media that I use. But of like people being segregated in restaurants, and you highlighted it specifically as a new form of segregation recently, as other
yep.
people have. But you did a whole stream specifically on that, and it's very accurate, because in these cases that I've seen where they're like you in a restaurant, it's like the smoking section. Like if you're unvaccinated, you've got the smallest. You got a little corner, and if you want to sit in the vaccinated section, you have to provide proof somehow. I don't know how that's legal, but this article I posted, this
Yeah,
Florida,
I'm
you
pull
got it up.
I'm pulling it up. I can see it. I'm pulling it up on the screen so that the people can also see it.
Uh,
But yeah, that's the other thing is, I mean, I don't know if you check your, I mean, I'm sure you check your ads, but someone actually DM'd me, some rando, and is like, you and that Apex guy are fucking crazy for saying all this stuff about the vaccine. And then it's like, and then later
And then it
on,
all turned out to be real.
oh yeah.
yeah.
It all turned.
So who's the crazy?
But yeah, but anyway, let me just get the headline out here, because this Florida man concert promoter is charging $18 for tickets to some. I think it's an electronic music festival. Yeah, a Florida concert promoter is getting creative with new ways to encourage his community to get vaccinated. At an upcoming punk rock concert, he'll be charging $18 for tickets to people who are vaccinated, and $1,000 to those who are not.
What?
This Paul Williams faggot of Leadfoot Promotions came up with the idea while brainstorming, probably microdosing on fucking DMT or some gay,
Wow.
hipster bullshit.
Well, I'm
Um,
glad they made sure to clarify that he's a faggot in the article. I'm really
I know,
glad they
right?
did
It
that.
is nice of them to do that.
Yeah.
Paul Faggot. I think that might be his middle name. Paul Faggot Williams. Yeah, it's right here. I'm reading
Paul,
it.
yeah, Paul Faggot
Like,
Williams. Yeah, that.
will this be the first time that a journalist has ever been based?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's his parents' fault. He probably just,
So
leaned
it
into
wasn't
it.
It wasn't him that was based. It was just his parents.
Mm-hmm. Like, you're a faggot. Look at this little faggot. Yeah, we're gonna name him Paul Faggot Williams of
Yeah.
Leadfoot Promotions. Anyway, I came up with this while brainstorming how to book a concert in a quick and efficient way. With vaccines becoming widely available and new state CDC guidance, blah blah blah. But anyway, the real crux to this thing is I don't understand how legally under health information privacy that you can be demanded to prove you're vaccinated for. Like, I understand that happens in schools and a couple of other
Oh
places, and
yeah,
I don't. Go
but
ahead.
they've literally, it's literally the Supreme Court literally said the Constitution doesn't apply on school grounds.
Yeah.
That's true. But see, this is where
Yeah.
shit is out to get real weird, because now, in the interest of public safety,
Yeah.
we're now going to get all of this, shit suspended. I'm not sup- I'm not supposed to mention a certain society from the 1930s uh, anymore, but there was one where they've made people have papers, and that turned out real well for for everyone
Well, to
involved.
put it into perspective, I mean, just recently, if I'm not mistaken, well, I think one of the first things our current um, president
Oh,
did with that sweeping executive orders that he did in that first fucking week or two or whatever was something about like revoking an HIV. Like, if you used to be able to get charged if you were diagnosed with HIV and you spit on somebody, or if you fucking gave it to someone without telling them, you know what I mean, like had a sexual relation with someone without disclosing that you were, which that honestly I guess is kind of fair in in the argument that I'm trying to make, but um
I mean,
cuz
well, one's different than the other.
they
part
are
AJ.
absolutely different. They're
part
absolutely different. I mean, I guess no, really the point though, or the angle I was trying to take is like, do
Yeah.
you, like, if you interact with someone in public, do you have, are you fat or are you just pregnant? Like,
Yeah.
well, and I'm glad that you brought that up, Apex, actually, because I was gonna say, in regards to that specifically, that one feels like he made that one specifically because of Hunter, who probably has all sorts of diseases and God knows what
oh, I
from
doubt it's specifically for Hunter, but I'm sure.
well, I mean the dude, Biden, daddy president has dementia now, so he could have accidentally signed something into law that he meant to, put on the secret file. So,
The black
um,
budget.
yeah, I'm still laughing my ass off at people who still think he's more mentally competent than Trump. I Yeah, you people are so stupid. It's funny now, actually.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
go
I mean,
ahead, Bob.
yeah. No. Anyone saying like this dude is competent, it's literally just lying to yourself at this point. It's lying to yourself.
I can admit Trump's an asshole, but being an asshole is different than having fucking dementia.
He's also kind
Oh
of an
yeah.
idiot. I mean, he's Chad as fuck, but he's got
Yeah. He's an
perpetual. Yeah, he's kind of an idiot for sure. Like,
Well, I mean,
publicly,
he's
but
an old
that's why
boom.
people love him.
Well, he's an old boomer.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
you gotta forgive him a little bit for that. But
Yeah.
oh
Yeah. So
Lord, like,
anyway, I thought that was very interesting, considering the extent my company, my family, and other companies are going to promote the vaccine to like reward people for getting it. I mean, we've seen Krispy Kreme offers you a free donut. Budweiser or Anheuser-Busch or one of the fucking major beer companies. I tried to read an article about that shit on my YouTube channel and got a strike for medical misinformation
Yep.
because I was just reading an article saying, hey, you could get free shit if you go prove you're vaccinated. I was being pretty facetious as I was reading the article, to be fair, but um, yeah,
Oh man, passive aggressiveness, not cool.
yeah, I know, right?
It's
Very,
it's
very
Don't.
gamma. It's very gamma behavior. Can you imagine?
head over to Odyssey, folks. So
I
that
thought you said ped. I thought you said pedo. I thought you
Oh,
repeated pedo. I thought you said pedo, pedo to Odyssey, and then it clicked.
no,
Sammy, sometimes you know,
no.
I
Sometimes
don't
oh
know,
no,
man.
sometimes
you shouldn't go on that
discords.
digma. Sam, are
Sometimes
you gonna go on that same rant that Dick Masterson went, where you go, pedo, pedo, it's the modern day Red Scare.
no,
Pedo. God, Dick Masterson, fuck that guy.
no because I'm not gay like Dick Masterson. Whoa.
Copy that. Well, excuse me. Have you guys noticed too that all the biggest companies, corporations, WalMarts, and the fast food chains, Kmart's, all these motherfuckers have got now hiring signs
Oh yeah.
plastered fucking everywhere.
Oh yeah. The
Oh
the
yeah.
the Mc,
All of them.
oh yeah.
Hmm.
The entire fast food industry has now hiring
Well,
signs.
I find it interesting because my company in particular, I mean, they've operated like a pretty tight ship as far as like staff and hours and I mean overtime has always been forbidden for hourly employees because it's a family and shit's supposed to come first and anyway
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
now
It's
they
forbidden because of family.
well no they posted record profits for 2 fucking years in a row and they're now I mean I don't know the ins and outs of what kind of relief they got or breaks they got from the government but again, I'm just watching them go from one like the way the company had been for decades to this new thing, and it's a scramble to just get people in, hire people in, pay them, get anybody in here. We don't even know what they're gonna do. There's only so many. Almost everyone's part time other than management in this company. Um, so I mean, I don't know. I
I
can't really I can't really articulate it my thoughts just yet. I probably shouldn't have brought it up, but
no. You
I
want to
just
hear
find it really.
You
Go
want to
ahead.
hear my crazy bat? I know exactly what you're talking about with all these companies. You want to hear my crazy batshit theory as to why all of that's happening? And I mean, I have no evidence whatsoever for this, but I feel like it's part of the whole corporate thing to say, oh, well, Trump became president, and or no, Biden became president, and steered us clear of this pandemic, and all these companies started to hire and
No, see,
whatnot.
that's
So,
that's actually sorry to cut you off, but Larry, thank you, Larry. Just kind of led me back to the point that I was trying to make. My company never shut down. In fact, we got busier through the pandemic, especially the early stages, and it never fucking stopped. It continued through the whole fucking year. Um, while mom and pop shops in this very town very small town that I live, um, were forced to shut down and have not been replaced by anybody so far. In many cases, but all the big corporations inside and outside of this little town that I live in, they're all fucking they raked it the fuck in because none of them shut the fuck down. None of McDonald's didn't shut down. Dairy Queen, fucking Subway, they enacted various um precautions, quote unquote, no dining in and et cetera, et cetera. Put signs all over the place saying you have to wear a mask in, but just walk in without a mask. They can't make you. Some
Yeah.
places would try, most places wouldn't. But um, so yeah, it's kind of wild. Yeah, it does seem like it seems like a corporate takeover, man. Like a
Yeah.
perfect storm for like snuff out all of the weak, and now they're like, okay, all you employees, not employers, you guys need work. Look, we've come. Look everywhere you fucking look. There's a now hiring sign at a McDonald's or a fucking Walmart or a Payless or a fucking one of these. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so
Corporate giants.
Larry also brings up that Amazon went through the roof with profits, which
Of course they did.
which I'm glad that you brought that up, Larry, because I'm sure that uh that both of you saw that Amazon just bought out MGM Studios, and
Oh yeah.
part of that, I mean, part of the big hype is they think that like it has to do with like the new James Bond movie, which I'll be doing a show on that in and of itself probably this week. But the other thing too is I have a friend who worked for like an MGM theater, and the way that MGM worked is like in terms of like their theaters is it's a franchise, but it's like an independent franchise too, if that makes sense. And so now Amazon has basically bought like all these like small mom and pop theaters that were, I guess,
Yeah.
kind of operating under the MGM banner, but they were still essentially mom and pop movie theaters too. So yeah, literally buying out mom and pop shops now too, or in this case, mom and pop shop theaters, I guess. So,
Yeah.
yay!
It's literally a sick sadistic game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we're watching. I mean, I feel like several generations have made a similar argument, and not incorrectly so, but it really does feel different. Like the kind of depravity and greed and corruption that we're all experiencing. And again, most people are blind or just they genuinely don't care to know. They don't want to know. They care about their kids, they care about their immediate surroundings. They have no interest in greater happenings. And honestly, I envy those people.
I mean,
uh but
I mean,
but
my
go ahead.
I was just gonna say my stepfather just turned 68 years old like 2 weeks ago. So technically, my stepdad is a boomer, but he does not act like a boomer at all. Like he's very based in all of this. The only thing that he is ironically a boomer on is the fact that like other boomers don't get what he's talking at. And so I had to explain I had to explain the idea of boomer as like a concept as opposed to just like an age, or like a mindset as opposed to just like an age thing. And he's like, well, it sounds like an insult. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of meant to be an insult. I'm like, most people from your generation, they're not like you. They don't question any of this. They just blindly go along with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Boomers like faggot or retard or, I mean, any of the other slurs at this point. I mean, you could be a boomer and be fucking 16 years old. It could be an insult and it could be accurate. It
yeah.
could be another 16-year-old talking to another 16-year-old, and it could apply. You know what I mean? For their lack of understanding of something that they should.
Well,
You know what I mean?
here's the thing I dislike the most about the boomers is all the protests they did in the 60s and the 70s. Oh man, if you think our protests are bad, oh, they pale in comparison to what happened in the 60s and 70s.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
what they did made everything that's happening today look like a joke.
yeah, no. My stepdad, he never served in Vietnam, which he, I guess, kind of regrets, at least not volunteering. But he also was not like on the left either. He was just like, I'm gonna go to college and like start my carpentry business and just do that, which is what he did. So and yeah, so
Yeah, and so he did the right thing. But
yeah,
man, like their protests were like the worst thing, like just the absolute worst. But they just go, oh yeah, just like, oh yeah, these millennials and Gen Z are so bad. It's just like, oh man, back when we were kids, we didn't do this. Like
yeah, yeah. No,
we have all the proof that says otherwise.
yeah, no. Well, my favorite boomer argument is my favorite boomer argument was when we were kids, we never had like iPhones or tablets or video games or any of that stuff. We would go outside and play and like and then once my stepdad started playing Call of Duty, he's like, I'm not gonna lie, if I had this when I was your age, I would have been addicted too. So
Yeah.
and yeah, oh, I see a mint conditioned chicken in chat.
Who?
Yes, I would agree with the mint conditioned chicken that we're lucky that the gas station ran out of munchos. So, um, one of our new friends in the chat. So,
Oh, okay.
Wait, we have a new friend in the chat?
damn it.
I found some chips, guys.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
You gonna share any?
I'm gonna share the sounds of me eating them. It's the best I can do, man. I'm sorry.
Ah, I'm so disappointed in you.
They're fucking stale anyway, dude. Nope, never mind. This isn't gonna work.
Hooray for stale chips. Ruining your bit. So
I can
Yeah.
fucking never have fun ever, dude. God damn.
no, no, you can. I mean,
No, he can't have fun. He's not
No, I
allowed
can't.
to.
You already said so. Pope confirmed. It's 2v1. It's over. Game over, man. Game over,
Yeah.
man.
I mean,
You never
I-
had a chance.
nope. But oh, who did someone was maybe it was someone else. I get confused. I thought you were Twitter beefing with someone, but that was someone else. Maybe I don't know.
No, he did. Pope did have a little back and forth with Cecil, but he and Cecil go way back.
Uh,
So,
I mean, I wouldn't call her a friend because I've barely talked to her, but I'm cool with her.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm cool with her, but
she's cool. She seems alright.
yeah, she's cool, but I wouldn't call her a friend because that would be creepy.
yeah.
I'm not sure anybody said that you were friends.
Whiskey
Oh,
said.
you were kind of implying. You were kind of implying that.
Whiskey.
Oh, I see. You guys
Oh
go
yeah,
way back.
you
Yeah,
go
my
way
bad.
back. Yeah, no.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
Whiskey says we're also lucky that the gas station ran out of sushi. I would not wish gas station sushi on anyone. honestly.
Nigga, my gas stations have fried chicken. Like, and cold sandwiches, maybe.
Well,
Sushi. Where the fuck would I get sushi from? Lake
Most gas
Michigan?
stations.
Trader Joe's.
Most gas stations have fried chicken.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They do. The ones here have mac and cheese and shit.
Ew, that's disgusting.
That's right. I'm working on my whiskey soundboard. Yee.
Sasa needs to know what.
Oh,
Sasa needs to know what kind of chips you were trying to eat. And she goes, "This is not a layered question," which means
They're just regular Lay's. You know,
okay,
the
but are
go-
they classic? Or are
Yes,
they?
classic Lay's.
yeah.
All right, then why didn't you say classic? Huh?
Well, because the top of the bag's missing, and I can't. I mean, I don't eat chips that often unless I'm on Sam's stream, so I can't
Well,
remember. They're
well,
called classic Lay's.
well,
Just the old,
well,
good
do
old
they come in a
fashioned
yellow bag or do they
yellow
come in a
bag.
green
That's exactly
bag?
what I was gonna say. They're in a yellow bag for sure. I'm looking at a yellow bag.
Okay.
I kind of turned into Ben Shapiro there for a second. So, well, let's say hypothetically that even though it's a yellow bag and it says they're classic Lay's, what if sweet and sour and onion was actually? I mean, yeah, sour cream and onion was actually
Listen,
in the
facts do
bag.
not care about your feelings. What color is the bag? And what color is the chip? And what does it taste like? Please tell me right now.
Exactly what you would say.
Neither of you are speaking nearly fast enough to be Ben. But I applaud your effort. So that
Well, I mean, I'm sorry I don't rail lines of Coke. Maybe if I railed lines of Coke, or it was 120% Ashkenazi Jewish, maybe then I could talk as much as him.
I
Oh, you got raped by Mr. Feeney.
I have to tell. So I haven't told this part of the story yet, but as most people know, I'm famous because I interviewed Ben Shapiro. What people don't know is that more recently, I got emails, and by more recently I mean within the past few years, I kept getting emails on my show email with the subject, "You interviewed the wrong Shapiro." And I kept getting these, and I opened them, and I can't show what I saw on YouTube, but essentially it was Abby Shapiro's giant fucking cause titty milkers, basically.
I think we've all seen those.
Yeah, I mean we all have, but the context of the email was hilarious because up until that point I didn't see them, and just the subject line like you interviewed the wrong Shapiro. I don't know.
No shit.
It was funny, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I absolutely did. So.
Well,
Here's the thing. Did you not want to interview Ben Shapiro? Tell me right now. Huh?
I mean, I interviewed.
Did you want to interview the male or did you want to interview the female?
that's right. Did it just fall into your lap?
Did you did you go out of your way to contact Ben Shapiro or did you go out of your way to contact Abby Shapiro? Like, come on now.
I went out of my way to contact Ben because I didn't know that Abby, because no one knew that Abby existed at the time. This was
you didn't do your journalistic duties, man.
Yeah, you
see, could have got her first.
Well, you see, you did not interview the wrong Shapiro because you got the Shapiro
exactly the
that
right
you.
one. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
It's a good breakdown, Pope. Thank you.
well, I mean, the real one I wanted to interview was Andrew Breitbart, but he died earlier that year. So.
Oh yeah.
And.
What did he die?
Womp womp.
Or like, didn't he die like a heart attack or something?
Yeah. My friend, my other internet friends. I have lots of internet friends, folks. As most of you know, I know the best people on the internet. Totally cool. Believe me.
Yeah.
no
Famous
one,
last words, nigga.
no one,
Go ahead.
no one no, I'm doing Trump right now. No one knows internet friends quite like I do, and I know a lot. So,
That is true, actually.
so, um, but no, but now I know Christian Black, who shout out to the Blackcast, who knew
The Black Cat? Hold on. Christian Black? Is this a black man on a black podcast?
I mean, it should be, but he's a white guy who. No, his name is Blatt, Bladt, and he
Enunciate, Samuel. Sorry.
Yeah.
Blatt,
Come on,
Blatt.
Samuel.
Oh,
Go ahead, man. Sorry.
okay, Tards.
Oh, whoa.
You
That's just
Hold
mean.
on. Hold on. No need to be rude to your guests here, Sam.
well, not to you, Pope. You're cool. I'm abusing Apex because he always demands that I abuse him.
Are you talking to all of my retarded personalities at once? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It sounded like you were talking to me and Pope.
No, I'm just talking to Pope is cool. He's Pope is a good boy. I'm talking to
Yes.
I'm talking to your multiple personalities, Apex.
All of them. Cool. Message received, friend.
Except for I don't know. Do you? I feel like there's a developing Stavros personality in there that we haven't seen yet. So
Oh, Sonny in the chat. Hi, Sonny.
hey, Sonny.
Listen.
That's where I was
Uh-huh.
at Sonny and Jares earlier.
Listen, guys, not you two in the chat, but everybody listening. Over on patreon.com/the Whitfield Report, I have written and personally narrated a 6-part story, not totally yet, about the life and adventures of Slammy Dickfield. His origins, his adventures, and all the things he gets into. And never once do I eat chips. So you may not be able to find it depending on the tier you choose. I don't remember which tier it is, but just keep paying money, and you'll find it eventually. If that's something you're interested in. It is a 6-part. Full-length novels.
It's
1,000 pages each.
It's mid tier. The top tier is the feet pics, which is
And the OnlyFans. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and the shirtless pics, which is what everyone wants. So
Retarded. It's retarded as shit. It's
Come on,
retarded.
let's not be making fun of Kenny Jones, man.
Hey, listen, I just.
yeah,
Hey, but point people.
people don't know the lore. Well, people on YouTube might know the lore of that, but people on the audio podcast will probably be like, "Why is making fun of a retarded person?" So because it's fun, and
because it's funny, goddammit.
and because I'm crippled and not retarded. So
I generally don't make fun of people to their face for something like, well, if they're my friends, I do for sure. But like strangers, I mean, I can get lots of laughs out of the strangers' appearances and behaviors, and actions that I witness. But you know, most of the time, I keep it personal. I'm not gonna laugh in their face. Like, you fucking retard! I just saw you. I saw you just knock all that shit over or bump into that fucking baby and pretend you didn't. I watched the whole thing, you faggot. I can just watch and laugh from over here.
But would you laugh if I completely doxed myself? Like my name, my employer, my address.
I
I
mean,
mean, it would depend on the context. I don't. That's not funny in and of itself.
I mean, if you were to do a name reveal here, Pope, everyone would be like, would be like, yeah, all right, cool. I don't
Already know Pope's name.
I do, but
Well,
I do, but the audience might not, and I'm not gonna dox them. So
I mean, I don't know. I mean, my good friend over at Igor Carroll, by the way, check out his book. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go get a copy of his book. Yeah, Closing Time on the South Side by Igor Carroll. Shout out to him and his book. But, yeah. Oh, where's that going?
something
This?
you doxing yourself on my stream.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, no. He actually knows my full name, but he's like the only person that does. But shout out to his book.
All I will say for the audience is that like Pope is Gavin McGinnis if Gavin McGinnis weren't an alcoholic and we're actually good looking.
And we're a little boy, a handsome little boy.
Yeah.
A handsome little good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's enough stroke and Pope there.
That's right. So
That's right. No, that wasn't you. That's I'm sorry.
oh god! Imagine if we did whiskey, but with Kenny Jones's voice. So
That's white. Yeah. That's white.
I don't know why.
Yeah, that's white. I hope he's listening.
He is. I see him in chat. He's gonna be super
He loves it.
PO'd. But
No, he's like a whore. He loves the attention.
yeah, no,
Yeah, he doesn't get upset too often.
So
No.
So when I was in Interest of Stuff chat earlier, I proposed that Jeremy from Interest of Stuff run for president in 2024.
Jesus.
Well, here's the campaign slogan. What do we have left to lose?
A lot. I mean, hold on. A lot, Sam. You know, superficially, 30,000 foot. Uh-oh. Game over. Oh.
Wait, who joined us?
Whiskey came in and said, that's right. And then he left.
Oh. So
That's
just
right.
an ultimate power move.
Mm-hmm. I guess
That's
so.
That's all he knows how to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the soundboard. He is also a very handsome, you know, well-spoken soundboard with some key catchphrases that everybody loves. You know, he's
And
loved.
all he does is do power moves.
Uh-huh.
And
you know, he could. Let's not forget that he cucked someone in federal prison.
yeah,
Well, he got cucked by someone in federal prison, kind of. If you believe the narrative, but go ahead.
Yeah, but the truth is, you know, he.
The
cucked
truth
him.
is, you're right. He did cuck not only the federal inmate, but the mental retard that he was, decided a federal inmate was a better option.
Yeah.
Oh,
And also,
wait, no, that didn't sound right. Hold on.
And he also cucked a psychopath that decided to send the retard a death threat over being demodded.
Oh yeah, the I has candy. I saw a conversation about that earlier, because I saw some of those death threats over being demodded.
Oh yeah, no, Stormy's just like, oh yeah, he's a good boy. Just like, no, that
Give
dude
him
is
some gas
legitimately
money.
psychotic. No, that dude's psychotic. He honestly, he does believe it. You know, actually, here's a real political discussion that it may seem kind of shitposty, but you know, should some people be illegal, and it should just be illegal to give them money.
I mean,
No, I don't think. I mean, maybe. I think that that already exists. It's illegal to give drug dealers money.
yeah,
Um, you know, it's illegal to panhandle in some places. I mean, it's not so much
Yeah.
giving money as it is asking for money in that case. But, um, yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I think charity is
Yeah.
important. You should be able to offer anything
Oh
to
no,
anybody.
I'm not talking about charity. I'm talking more like, are you familiar with what would happen if you got exiled from the city of Rome?
yeah, you
In
basically,
in what year? Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, during the Roman Republic and throughout the entire Roman Empire, if you were exiled from the city of Rome for about 300 miles, nobody could give you fire or water for like a good 100 miles if you were exiled.
Well, good.
So I'm just wondering if we should bring something like that back.
Yeah, but the problem, I mean, as it eventually became in Rome and as has
Yeah.
become here, like there's people in charge of this shit, and
Yeah.
uh, people that desire power mimic greatness to get power and exalt it over people. So, I mean, I feel like we're just in a repeating cycle. We're never going to be, generations will be happy and great, but you know, it's the ebb and flow, man. Where we have to not, I specifically have to not be so goddamn nihilistic and try to, you know, steer my own ship through this
uh,
nonsense.
oh, well, I mean, you think you're being nihilistic. I just said that Jeremy should run for president, and you were saying that that's a horrible idea. So who's the nihilist now? So,
Well, me, because I mean, at least yours was optimistic. I'm like, no, that's stupid. Why would you do? Why would you do that? There's no point.
because we have nothing, we have nothing left to lose, and so we
Well, in
could
that case, you should run for president, Sam. I mean, you have a superior chair to anything
we
Jeremy owns.
well, but I mean, if I were
Mm-hmm.
if I were to run for president, it would be like
Mm-hmm.
Hugh Hefner running for.
Yeah, exactly. All your press conferences would have, titties over your shoulders. Just by default on national television. They'd just be standing there like ring girls or something, looking all hot. And
Yep.
you'd deliver your keynote address and all your speeches with at least two pairs of titties in frame with you. Nobody would ever hear
Yeah.
anything you said, and it wouldn't matter. You do whatever you want. You can be a dictator.
You know what I thought was weird though? After Hugh Hefner died, everybody decided to come out and say, "Oh, this dude was a creep." Like,
Yeah. I mean, they tried doing that while he was alive too, but it never
yeah,
caught any traction.
Even
well, that's because
It's only
everybody already is come to terms with it.
yeah. I mean, but also that's also kind of like no one was surprised. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um,
I
the
mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they even bothered with it.
the
Hey, come on, the dude was dead.
well they tried doing the same thing with Sean Connor though when
Oh yeah.
when he died that they tried to say that Sean Connor actually raped one of the Bond girls and whatnot, and then
sometimes you have to slap a bitch, right?
and oh yeah, he said that too, which
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
he's not.
he was
Was he
completely
was he
right.
was he
He was
wrong?
It was pretty
No.
based. No, it was pretty based. I'm not gonna
no,
lie.
no, he was completely right.
And the playmate and the Bond girl that he allegedly raped actually, you know what wasn't raped, and they just had a good time. So as people did back in the early '60s
Yeah.
during the Mad Men era. So
No, which is what is unforgivable of Sean Connery was agreeing to be in Highlander 2: The Quickening. That's
I
where we really we should take everything away from him for that crime.
I
There can
mean
only be one.
but he was in the first Highlander, which was pretty good. Which by the way,
Yeah.
they want to remake Highlander now, I guess, and the critical drinker isn't.
Probably with a fucking gash at the lead role, huh?
Of course, that's actually what that's what the
Is
critical.
it true? Seriously?
Well, that's what the critical drinker kind of said more or less, without actually saying that word gash. But yeah, I think that's one of Drinker's favorite movies, I guess. So
Honestly, there was actually a couple of concepts that were pretty cool in the sequel that would actually like to see fleshed out in a remake.
yeah,
They won't
I
do that
get.
though.
But yeah, no, they won't do that. Like, I know in like Highlander 3 they had a shapeshifter, which was pretty cool, which was a pretty cool concept. And in game, like the immortals they killed, sometimes they took over the whoever killed them. Like the previous guy they killed, they could like take over their body for a second. That was pretty cool. But
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
we all know that's not gonna be. They're
well,
not gonna do that.
No.
I mean,
They're not.
the fact that they're remaking every
Yeah.
movie now is
Well,
just, it shows how creatively bankrupt they are because of China.
No.
well,
Well, they're not
there's
creatively
some.
bankrupt. They're just They're just lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, there are a couple of rays of hope. And I mean, I'm not real up on a lot of the, um, intellectual properties in regards to comics and TV shows and all that stuff. But um, Invincible, which is a comic book that's outside of the big two, outside of the Marvel and DC universe, seems to be very popular pretty quickly with its TV show. I mean, I don't know much about the comics, but the Boys, that's not either of the. It's not neither Marvel nor DC either, is it?
Oh, yeah. No, it's not.
Exactly. Yeah, it would have. Yeah, right. So those are some decent shows, at least that I've seen recently, that
Yeah,
show
but
some promise outside of you know.
Invincible is basically DBZ.
Yeah, kind of. Just with a Western spin, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, one show that I'm not sure we've talked about on here, but I know Apex and I have talked about in private is the fact that the Boys is pretty damn good. Um and you know, and actually sheds a lot of light on just the celebrity culture and how crap it is.
Oh yeah.
So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I play more video games and read old books more than I watch TV or movies anymore.
I I've actually I don't necessarily read, some books I read are old, but I've actually been reading this book series called The Terminal List, which is pretty good by
Yeah.
by former Navy SEAL sniper named Jack Carr. He's been on Joe
Joe
Rogan
Rogan.
a few times, and he's actually he's pretty. Well, I shouldn't say he's pretty based. He's very based, and
Yeah.
so
Actually, it's a pretty like this book series is pretty based, despite being written by some weird anarcho communist. Camille Lebanet, that's pretty based. Besides, if you just ignore the fact that Michael Moorcock's a communist, like in his own words.
yeah. That yeah.
He,
No.
I mean,
Right.
he in the '60s he was able to just perfectly describe today's society.
Well, that's kind of Alan Moore too, who wrote Watchmen and wrote V for Vendetta. I
Mhm.
mean, he's pretty much.
Actually,
right.
Michael Moorcock is actually friends with Alan Moore,
You nerds talk books. I'll be right back.
I'm.
which
Uh,
which I don't get because Alan Moore doesn't have a whole lot of talent.
no, not really. I mean, Dave Gibbons was the one who pulled Watchmen together, honestly. But
I mean, honestly, like the twist in Watchmen was pretty dumb, where it's just like, oh, here's a gigantic, octopus that just comes out of nowhere.
I
That was
mean,
pretty dumb.
to us it's dumb, but like back in 1986, that was like mind that was like mind blowing stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, I know this is gonna be sacrilege, and people are gonna, crucify me for this. But I think Zack Snyder was correct to change the
I
attack.
I would agree, and we actually have a few people who listen to this who would also agree. So my audience certainly agrees with you on that, Pope, and
Yeah.
so do I. So you know what? That's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, because the whole octopus thing was kind of dumb.
Oh yeah,
It just,
totally
it's just like,
was.
oh, here, because like, didn't the octopus like die or something?
Yeah, and well, it died and then exploded or some weird shit like that. So
Yeah. Which in reality, they would have just gone, okay, that's kind of tragic, but we're not gonna stop what we're doing. Versus just like, oh, Dr. Manhattan went insane and just started turning on his own people,
did you
and we literally have no way to kill him. Yeah, we're gonna have to
yeah,
set our differences aside.
did you oh god, did you see the stupid SJW fucking uh like sequel series,
Oh no.
the H okay, yeah, don't
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not bothering with that.
don't bother because it completely fucks up the ending of Watchmen. So
Oh yeah.
much like
Well,
the
the original Watchmen was. I mean, it was pretty paused, but man, did it? Then it never went that far.
well, I mean the original Watchmen kind of the ending basically leaves it open into an kind of leaves it open into interpretation. So
Yeah.
excuse me for a sec. Hey, mint condition
Yeah.
chicken, tell Apex to get back in here. So
I'm here.
Yeah.
we'll
What
we'll stop being nerdy. Although you're a fucking nerd too,
I am a
faggot.
nerd.
Yeah.
So
I am a nerd faggot. You know, I really want to get a license plate N1GF4G. Custom license plate.
those things are expensive. I hear custom license plates.
They are an unnecessary expense for sure. My ex had one because she got the same license plate as her dad. Growing
Or-
up, I think it was like fucking
Is that even legal?
yeah. Yeah, of course it is. I mean, if a custom license plate isn't, I mean, it's only so many letters and numbers.
Yeah. Good
You could
point.
put something like bowling, or you just spell the word bowling, or fucking anything, you know. Yeah, I can't remember, but it is expensive. It's like an additional like $20 or $20 a month, I think, for the tight or for I can't remember. There's some sort of custom plate fee, at least in my state. I can't remember what it was. It was like $20 a month, 20 extra bucks a month on top of your registration fees, and
Ooh, lordy.
yeah. So if you want a
That's
fancy,
Oof.
you want a fancy nig fag license plate, you can pay for it.
That I feel like that would be whiskey's license plate.
I doubt it. It would be nig ye with 3 e's.
No,
alien.
no, whiskey's custom license plate would be Das Right with DAS and then RITE or something like.
Like 2 i's, RIIT. You know what? Fuck that nigga. He ain't here. What are we talking about? He's pulling power moves. He ain't even here. Knock it off, Sam.
That's why I'm talking shit at him because he's not here. So
Oh. I don't know.
That sounded like a
what would
compliment, but
what would sandwiches license plate be if she did a custom one? Because it's kind of hard to get a reading on her.
mm.
mm,
Well, I think it would be Wet Sam Mitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
In
So what?
Inward is the greatest license plate to ever. I would have to agree with Sauce, and that's pretty damn good. So
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, what was I gonna say? You know what I found out today? There's a recipe for pizza that is literally over 500 years old.
Mm-hmm. Where
That
was it
blew my
found?
mind. In Italy.
I think my mom might have gone there actually, if I'm not mistaken. She she went to Italy
To
like
Italy?
she went to Italy like 2 years ago. I'm actually I know I don't look part Italian, but I'm actually half Italian on my mother's
Of course
side.
you are, you fucking wop.
Oh no.
And
We got a Guido in here.
We got a fucking Guido in here,
hey,
boys.
hey, whoa,
Hey,
whoa.
whoa. I'm in the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
union here, pal.
Oh. Or
Oh man, that's where
well and then
Sammy gets all his money from his union pals.
well and
Yeah.
well and then on my
There's Mason's Lodge.
and then on my on my and then on my dad's side I'm Irish, so that explains
Oh,
why.
that's the
So
worst thing you could be.
I know.
Irish and Italian? Jesus Christ, man. This fucking guy. Can
Yeah, I
you
don't
believe
know.
shit, Pope?
This
The
This
nerve
fucking
on this dude.
This wop ass fucking potato. The nerve on this guy.
this
Come on now.
this this
Irish need not apply, right, mate? You fucking guinea piece of shit.
well I always do like to I always like to tell people that, or I always like to tell black people more specifically when they complain at racist names. I'm like, yeah, well the Irish were called white N words for
Well,
thousands
they were
of.
it was correct when they were called that.
I mean, yes, but point is we got fuck it over. We're not crying about reparations.
Yes, the Irish are. The Irish cry about that literally every day.
Well, not okay, not Irish American.
As a whole. No, Irish Americans as a whole do. All they do is complain.
Pretty
Complain,
much.
complain, complain.
Yeah, pretty much across the board. Generally
Yeah.
speaking, yeah.
Well, I
There's
mean,
a pretty good handful that don't say anything.
well, I mean
and are
that's
hard
Yeah,
at
it's
work.
like Yeah, like come on now. My great grandmother was a serf.
Oh boy.
I mean, that's why
That was a hell of a lot more recently. That was a hell of a lot more recently.
that's why I have a podcast though. So I literally can get on here and complain about shit that annoys me. And
People
That's a good
love
point.
it.
yeah.
I don't know. Most people, when they're frustrated, they just, you know, get a wife and just beat her.
Well,
Based.
that's not. I mean, I don't have a wife. Yeah, I have groupies, but not.
Did you say groupies?
No, I said. I said.
You said groupies. It sounds like a kid's toy, like a line of children's toys, like Orbeez. Some sort of
No, I said groupies.
groupies with a P. Like okay, groupie like the fish. That's a
What?
grouper like the fish.
No,
You don't have you don't have groupies. Or if so,
He's got
who are
groupies though. He's got a whole bathtub full of groupies.
they? Name them.
Well,
Alice and Cinderella
I've
and
got
Jonathan, Nina.
I've
Oh,
got
sorry.
I've got Saucin, I've got Bruce City, I've got
Kitty.
yeah, I've got Titty, I've got I've got Jen. There are 5 Jens that all pop in here with the name Jen on occasion. I've got Christy with a K, Christy with a C, and
A sandwich with a wet.
Yep, and then I've got Sunny, who is a
You know what? She never followed me back on Twitter.
who?
Sonny.
No, Sandwich.
Well,
Oh. Sandwich is mean. She's a mean wet sandwich. I'm just
You know,
kidding. She's sweet as could be, actually.
I don't know.
Just kidding.
She's mean to me.
mm,
You might deserve it, Pope. Maybe she's trying to toughen you up.
you might deserve it. So
No, I don't. I've never deserved. I deserve
No.
only good things in life.
Pope is a good boy.
Well,
Have you seen his chupacabras? I'm pretty sure they don't have control of his brain.
Yeah, they don't have control of my brain.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Now,
confident of that.
now after now we gotta hurry. Wrap this up so I can go get some goats.
Mm-hmm.
what you so you are a chupacabra then?
No, he didn't say that. I'm sorry.
No, I
can't
just
show-
have
I can't-
chupacabras.
Oh yeah, gotta feed them.
I just have them. Yeah.
Well, Gamma is whatever the alien is from Predator, which someone actually asked me about that, and I'm like, yeah, you've been watching the show all this time and you haven't figured that out yet? Wow.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
You know what's weird? That action movie has 2 governors in it.
It does.
Yeah, it's true. It's one
Yeah,
of the greatest fucking action movies ever, as well.
Can-
Especially
can we-
sci-fi action movies.
Can we just go on and say that Jesse Ventura is the most based leftist guy ever made?
Oh yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah, even though he's like a lefty liberal environmentalist, he's pretty based.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tulsi is pretty based for a lefty as well, but
Well, she's
But
hot. She's got that storm streak in her hair, man. You clouds your judgment.
yes.
Yeah, but has she ever defended the Second Amendment?
I mean,
For what I understand, she just never defended it.
yeah, I don't. I mean, I know that she's served in the Coast Guard or something like that.
National
In the
Guard.
Coast Guard.
National.
Yeah,
She was in the National Guard.
Yeah.
that just shows how tough she is.
Well, well, believe me, I'm not looking at a record when I'm typing in Tulsi Gabbard. So
Yeah, you know.
even though I technically should, because technically this is a political show, but this is the political show that everyone likes to tune into because we're only partly a political show now. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Reddit
well,
host.
because the well, I mean, it's gotten so boring that we'll just talk about it for a second and just riff on, and it
it
becomes more enjoyable.
it is. I mean, I will say this. I mean, Trump was entertaining as hell because he was always doing weird shit. And Obama, even though I didn't necessarily agree with him politically, was also enter entertaining, I guess.
You see, I just want to smoke menthols and drink a couple Bud Lights with my friends at a barbecue.
Wow, that's actually a really good Barack Obama. Where have you been?
Thank you very much. Don't compliment me on my don't compliment me when I'm riffing Sam. When I'm riffing on something, Sam. It's gonna derail the whole thing. You should just ask me a question as the host of the Whitfield Report. President Obama, thank you for joining us. And I would have gone on for minutes, but I'm too self-conscious for all that, Sam.
No,
Live.
we're gonna have to do the Sam Whitfield interviews Obama thing for the Patreon because I'm not ready
Well,
to.
I'm gay. My name is Ryan Shunt.
Well,
I had a
When
sausage.
I
had a hot dog. I had a hot dog and pizza party
well,
at the White House.
when do I get to write stories for the Patreon? Tell me that, Mr. Obama.
I mean,
right now, man? You don't get paid, but it's fun.
I don't want to get paid.
Of course not. Why would you?
I'm not a grifter.
I'm not. No, I mean, no one here is a grifter.
Sammy's a grifter, but it's fine. He deserves to be.
Oh no,
He
no, no! I
rides.
don't care.
He rides a. Hold on. That ancient Rome you were talking about. The chair he rides
Yeah.
on is older than that civilization. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
No.
It's,
But here's what I have to say.
please.
It's okay for everyone else to grift except for me. I'm not allowed to grift.
It's, you know what? Grifting has a very ambiguous definition. Making money on the internet for something you do is not grifting. Something people want to pay for, but lying and, false promises and all the other shit. I mean, in my
Accusing
opinion, it's pretty cut and dry.
accusing people of
Um,
poisoning other. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of examples, but I think it cuts out pretty clearly in my mind. People that make content. I mean, even the people that I don't like, people uh, like Nightwave. I mean, I don't Nightwave and Daywave, the fucking ROTC. I don't really like those guys that much, but they
You
they
mean
do a
Revenge of
show.
the Sith?
Yeah, ROTC, Revenge of this. I don't really care for them that much for some personal reasons, some just their show. But I don't hate them for making money off of doing a show that
Yeah.
people find entertaining. And I'm internet friends with a lot of people that are big fans of them, and
I
that's
know.
fine.
I will say
Go ahead.
I'm not a big fan of Revenge of the Sith, but I will say they perfectly described everything wrong with what's his name, the dude that's on Saturday Night Live. Oh yeah, Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
They perfectly described everything wrong with that dude.
And that's my real. That's why I say that, because my issues with them are more. Excuse me, sorry, are more personal than they are with their ability to cover the show or the things that they cover
Yeah.
and do an entertaining show. Because I've only seen a few since they showed Mersh in particular showed a particular side of his character that I did not care to
Was it
associate with, or
was it the
went
one
more.
where he was getting a little bit obsessed with porcelain?
No, it was actually before that.
Oh,
Both Mersh and Royce on ROTC and separately on Nightwave and Daywave were regularly covering Owen Benjamin, who at the time I was making my own little videos about. A couple other small channels were clipping him up, and they were playing videos of mostly Johnny Arc, some of mine, and also just going through Owen's stream and making fun of him, mocking him, calling him out for his bullshit. And one day, Mersh DM'd Owen live. Mersh was doing a Nightwave while Owen was streaming, and it was something about Crowder admitting to being bi or something. And there was like a heel turn. And then a very good friend of both Sam and mine's, named Alan Powell, made a short, I don't know, 6-minute video, very heavily edited. It's like a GoPro dash cam turned around type thing, facing the driver instead of the road. And he talks about he's driving to Owen Benjamin's neighborhood. He's going to go talk to him. He just wants to have a conversation because he seems to be spiraling out, and he's not going to hurt Owen. He just wants to, have a talk with him because he feels like he's lost, and it's whatever. So Owen does a short stream, and this is old news for most people, or most people listening. But Owen does a short stream, and he plays the first minute or so of Alan's little video that he posted of him driving, and it looks pretty manic on purpose. But again, he cut it off right before Alan is like, I'm not going to hurt Owen. I'm going to talk to him. I want to ask him some questions. I'm not even going to go to his house, blah 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 blah. So Owen plays this video and accuses Mersh on his stream of sending Alan as a Nightwave little minion or whatever.
and like a
So then
capo.
immediately Mersh does a stream and is playing Owen's video and completely not only disavows Alan, whose content he'd used and had been in contact with, but literally threw him under the bus. Like, hands up, like, I didn't do fucking nothing. I've not trolled you live on stream. I've not sent people to raid your chat. I've not fucked with you ever. I have nothing to do with this dude. Shoot him. Kill him if he comes on your
Oh,
property. It was, he was just, it was a character um, revealing moment. I mean, he was afraid of what Owen was capable of, so he fucking forgot all of the things that he did on the internet, including fucking with people and trolling the shit out of people. I mean, he did that live on stream multiple times, multiple people, including Owen. So yeah, it's pretty comprehensive breakdowns of it on some channels, I'm sure, that still exist. But um, yeah, Alan really didn't do anything wrong. He made a pretty goddamn good troll video that got exactly the reaction out of the target that would be expected. And
I don't know, but
I mean,
but he didn't actually show up to his house, did he?
no,
No,
fuck, he didn't even leave his neighborhood. That's
no.
the thing.
The funny
Oh, okay, then that's okay then.
the funny
Yeah,
the funny
Now, if he pulled a Frank Castle and like showed up to his
no,
house and he was just like, "No, you gotta go," then yeah, that would be a problem. But
no, dude.
the
He drove around. Again. It was like a 6-minute video, and
of
there were a bunch of edits, and he's got a cooler in the back seat, and the background almost never changes. Like he never gets on the highway.
he
He's just driving around in a fucking neighborhood.
he he
It's so
that's
good, dude.
Alan
that's
actually told us, or at least he told me at one point, that he literally drove in circles like around his neighborhood to when he
You
was.
could tell from the edits, dude. You could see the same background from one edit to 3 edits later. When he's supposedly later further down the road, like you can see the same fucking hill in the background. It's so obvious, dude. It's so good.
oh my
But
lord.
Mersh fell for it, just like Owen did. And Owen threw Mersh under the bus, and Mersh was like, "Nope, I don't troll anybody. I've never done anything funny on the internet. I'm a very serious person. I've, fucked all these people that think it's funny
I,
to mess with you.
I'm the utmost professional journalist, guys. We're a serious news show here at RTC.
Yeah, and beyond that, he's both him and Royce have publicly thanked Owen Benjamin for making them so much money, which I mean is
Oh.
true from them mocking him, but
And they've also said fuck John Arcade, which even though
yeah, but you know what? Fuck Johnny Arcade. He's a fag. A gay
I
queer.
don't know, Johnny
well,
Arcade.
I mean,
Nah, I love Johnny Arcade.
but he might be a queer, but he's our queer. So
Nah, it's a. Anyway, we're getting a little
in
lost in the weeds here, but
super meta Whitfield report joke. So.
yeah, it's a little lost in the weeds here. But yeah, so in conclusion, I don't hate those fucking guys. I just don't really. I mean, I don't care that they make money off of their show because people find it entertaining. I just don't like them personally.
What?
I don't have I don't have enough ill will to like go after them. I've had people ask me to do so over the years, but I mean, I don't care that much. I just, Mersh is a fag. Royce seems all right, but
And you
I mean,
know-
Mersh got a little too obsessed with porcelain, like kind of a weird parasocial relationship.
Middle of the road porcelain. Yeah, I remember that.
well,
You mean the perpetual fence sitter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what? People would always make fun of Boogie for being like the perpetual fence sitter. But I'm gonna call Porcelain out a bit. That man has fence sitted more than anyone that in the history of ever.
well, Pope though, look at it this way. When you're a documentarian, when you're doing the type of documentary that that Porcelain does, and I've talked to Porcelain.
Me too, privately.
We all have, at least Apex. And
I haven't.
Yeah,
and
Sam says we all have in old context of a thing that doesn't exist for either of us. But go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, all I would say is when you're doing the type of documentary style that Porcelain does, it actually is a good idea to kind of be like middle of the road. I guess so.
Well, I have an update for both of you. Go ahead, Pope.
Whenever he makes a take, it's literally the take that everybody else has said.
He has a take on this T-Clips Ethan Ralph thing. Did you see that on Twitter?
Yeah, didn't he say that
he defended Ethan Ralph? No, he defended Ethan Ralph. Basically,
oh, that's disgusting.
He didn't outright defend Ethan Ralph. I shouldn't say that. He, I guess, middle of the road, like more. He leaned toward was like, well, I don't see why a content creator, I need to find the tweets because I was kind of shocked to read them, but yeah, it was effectively sounded like defending Ethan Ralph, but he also said he is not super familiar with the situation and doesn't have enough time or energy to like look that much into it. But
it's literally a clip. It's literally a clip channel.
Yeah, right. But
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've had a little bit of disagreements with T-Clips over the whole paywall thing, but she shouldn't have gotten her channel shut down. I don't think she's evil. Or that she's like literally the worst thing that's ever happened to the history of humanity. Oh, she did clips. Oh, at one point she paywalled like one clip video, and then she got rid of the paywalls and never did it again.
Sammy?
Yeah.
Saucin linked the original Alan Powell road trip video in the chat.
Yeah, do we
Nice.
do we want to go ahead and play? I was just clipping something from this stream.
Well, right now I'm playing COD, so I wouldn't be able to watch it.
Well, fuck you, Pope. All right, you multitasking fucking zoomer.
Well, but for the rest of the audience, for the ones that actually care about the show,
I don't know, man. I think everyone has seen it. Maybe just link it. I don't know. It's already in chat. I guess you could play it.
I'll pin it.
Audio podcast won't be able to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Kind of a.
I'll pin it for the chat, and
There you go.
I mean I've covered it, but I played it when it first came out. So if you really want to go back to 2 years ago, be my
2 years ago?
I think so.
Jesus fucking Lord Almighty.
That was, or maybe a year and a half. I don't know though. This whole thing feels like it's been, at least
forever.
2. Yeah.
It feels like forever. But anyway, Sammy, you've been streaming for
1 hour and 39. Let's
Yep.
see here. 1 hour and
96 minutes or so.
1 hour and 33 minutes, technically.
It was 3 minutes up. Anyway, we should kill this nigga.
Yeah.
This stream.
Womp womp. Nah.
Womp womp.
Otherwise, it would quickly turn into 4 hours of nothing.
Exactly. Just be me starting to get drunk because I don't drink much anymore, or lately, and I've been drinking.
Yeah.
Bless you, sir.
Sorry about that. Sorry about
God
that.
bless you, sir.
Thank
You're
you.
good, man.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, Pope.
All right.
Oh, thank
So, in conclusion, we are all incredible human beings. Not all of us, but everyone listening, you're fucking amazing. And most importantly, the people in this chat are the best of all of you.
Yes, because you guys
Don't forget that.
You guys showed up, and so you guys are the creme de la creme. And everyone, thanks for tuning in and watching, and have a happy Memorial Day, you guys, and may God bless the fallen veterans.
Don't kill yourself.
Thank you for your service, and yes, that actually is pretty appropriate. If you're a veteran, please don't kill yourself. So
everybody else,
don't.
go for it.
Good
night, everybody.
Good night, everyone,
night.
and God bless. God save the sweet nation. God freedom, Alexi in that order, and we will see you on the next episode of the Whitfield Report.